fuss-free. We go through so much of life just trying to make it easier. For instance, right now, my cameraman, he has a gimbal, which just makes his life a whole lot easier. Vehicles too, to a certain extent, they try to replicate the same thing. Well, at least most of the times. They're just there to make our lives and help us get around much easier. Now here's the problem. Most of them add a bit of drama and just ruin the aim in the end. Here is an exception. The Suzuki V-Strom SX, in my opinion, is truly fuss-free. Now, I know I've given away most of the video's essence within the first minute or so, but hopefully you'll stick around to the end just to figure out why it's fuss-free and, watch time. So what we have here is a sport adventure tourer, a bike that's meant to haul you long distances, keep you comfortable on the saddle while at it, and be a little enthusiastic about it on the way. Hence, sport adventure tourer. But is it though? For that, you need to know a few things beforehand. Now, this is a 12-liter tank. Now, if you do a little bit of basic math, let's say you average about 30 kilometers per liter. On a single tank, that's about 300, maybe 350 kilometers, which is pretty good, and it's pretty much all you need in most cases. But if you are planning to do more than 500 kilometers within a single day, you're obviously going to need to tank up more than once. So it's not great, but it's not bad either. Then there's the seating. You're seated comfortably thanks to a flat and wide seat that's got plenty of cushioning, so no complaints there. Suzuki's obviously used their head here, so the foot pegs and the handlebar make you sit nice and upright instead of in a crouch, and that obviously helps things along in a mile munching trip. What also helps is the seat height of 835 mm, which is tall but not too tall, so you get a nice commanding view of the road ahead. I did a short trip with a pillion too, and while there's enough space for one, thanks to the height of the rear seat, it does require a bit of a gymnast body to get on or off. But hey, there's no harm in getting a bit of a workout in, is there? Perhaps the best bit about the V-Strom is its engine and gearbox combination. 26 horsepower and 22 Nm from a silky smooth oil-cooled engine will let you hold speeds of up to 110, maybe even 120 km per hour all day long. But the true trump card is the refinement. It just never seems to feel gruff at any point. In fact, it just begs you to rev it harder and harder pretty much all the time. And even in the upper reaches of the rev range, it just never feels vibey. I really like that about the V-Strom. As for the gearbox, this is a 6-speed unit. Now, there's no fancy quick shifter here, but true to the character of geared Suzuki motorcycles, this is just so smooth up and down the gearbox. Now, it'll just do pretty much everything you want it to do, even if you're probably trundling around in traffic with multiple shifts or just banging it against the rev limiter in every gear possible.
Someone's got a hold on me. Yeah, I can feel it in my bones. Someone's got a hold on me, and I can't hold on.
And thanks to the lovely curb weight of 167 kilos, the V-Strom is nimble and agile. Chucking it into corners is a piece of cake, with the engine and gearbox raring to go and singing in harmony, while the MRF tires do their bit in extracting an impressive amount of grip. Stopping power too is more than adequate despite the single disc setup at the front. I did a couple of panic stops on purpose just to be sure, and the V-Strom came out like a champ through it all. Off-road? Not really. Not with those tires especially, and not a big fan of it anyway. More than that, this may look like an off-road ready bike, but it's not meant to be. It's meant to do, like I mentioned earlier, long distances rather enthusiastically. Which it does with consummate ease. I think one of my biggest takeaways was when I parked it and This was after what should have been a very, very long, tiring ride out in the sun. The thing is, I walked away without doing one of those stretches you do when you know your back is on fire. You know the sorts where you go, ah. My wrists were fine too. I literally just walked away. Fuss free. That's what Suzuki was aiming for, and man have they nailed it. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is Forbes India Momentum. I'm Ronak, and here's me proving that I can do a headstand even after all that riding. This is where you cut because I can't actually do a headstand